guys, so welcome back then to another video. This is actually the same day as my Newcastle video, so if you haven't seen that, be sure to go and check it out. I'm currently, as you can probably tell by the title of this video, I'm in Durham. It's my first time here. I was recommended to come here as apparently it's often referred to as a small York. And already being here and walking in from the train station, the sort of views along the way absolutely took my breath away. Seriously, some of the most impressive city views I've ever seen. So guys, just bear in mind as well that I am here quite late in the afternoon. So most places like the churches, the cathedrals and things will be shut now, but I really wanted to come here and check it out and of course show you guys what you can see. So if you don't see the insides of too many places, you know why. So markets do often still take place here in the market square. Obviously it's a bit late in the day now for it to be happening, but there is also a market hall here as well. And in the middle of the square there's also a statue of Neptune, who's been standing in the marketplace since 1729. But already here you can tell that you're completely surrounded by history. It does already feel like the same kind of vibe as Lancaster and York as well. So if you are into that kind of, I want to call it like a magical feel, it does feel like a magical kind of city, almost like Harry Potter-esque. So if you're interested in that kind of vibe, then Durham is definitely one of those places you want to come to. So as I said as well, there is St Nicholas's Church, which is located in the middle of the square. It's also been here for around 900 years. But the church that you see today isn't the actual original church. I won't be going inside today, so I'll just have to show you from the outside as it is now closed. The good thing about being here late is that it's also it's a sunny day today, so we should get some really nice light on all the buildings as the sun goes down. Now then, we are on Sadler Street, and Sadler Street is connected to the Market Square. It's one of the oldest streets, again, here in Durham, and it was the medieval road to the cathedral. And a fun fact, actually, if you're interested in Viking history, archaeologists found Viking-era buildings beneath the street. Excavations uncovered timber houses, leather working waste and well-preserved remains dating back to the 11th century. So you're actually passing through Georgian and even 16th century buildings that are protected for their historic importance. It's such a nice street though, honestly, like walking down there, just taking pictures left, right and centre. A few pubs and restaurants down there, and the restaurants are actually places that are quite well known, like Greg's or ZZ and things like this, but they're actually in the old buildings, so it's really funny to see these old style buildings with known restaurants in them. There's also some independent cafes and things down there as well that are well worth checking out, of course during the day when everything's open. So Sadler Street also connects onto another little street called Owen Gate, and again another very historical street, but it's worth going up because when you come up at the top you can see part of the cathedral and it takes you onto the Palace Green. And there is one house on Owen Gate. You probably won't really notice it unless you look hard. It's number 5 Owen Gate, is over 500 years old. It dates back to the 16th century and still preserves part of its original timber frame. It's really peaceful actually around here. And again, the cathedral, it really is like something out of Harry Potter. It's insane. It's a huge cathedral as well. It is actually known as well, the cathedral, to be one of the greatest Norman buildings in the world. Construction began on it in 1093, and most of the cathedral was actually completed within 40 years. And the ceiling inside actually inspired Harry Potter. So the filming actually wasn't allowed to take place in the cathedral itself, but the cloisters doubled as Hogwarts in the first 2 Harry Potter films. So that's probably why it feels very Harry Potter-esque around here. But not only that, of course, there is the Palace Green Library, which you can find on the green as well. It's a collection of historic buildings dated back from the 15th century and contains over 100 medieval manuscripts, as well as 100,000 historic books. So it's one of the most important libraries in the UK, which is that's just crazy. A lot of university students do visit here, but you don't have to be a university student to visit. You can go there without being a student. So as I mentioned before, on the other side of the square we have Durham Castle, which unfortunately it's now closed, so I can't go inside and show you, but I will try and show you what I can from the outside. It was actually built by William the Conqueror, and the construction began in 1072, which was 6 years after the Norman conquest, to secure northern England against the rebellion and Scottish invasion. Of course, to enter you have to visit there during the day. And now, currently as of recording this, it is 6 p.m, so it's a bit late in the day to go inside, but you can still enjoy what you can from the outside, and there's various viewpoints where you can see the castle as well, so you can still make the most of it no matter what time of day you come here. But of course, if you want to go inside, then definitely come here earlier. So then, just a short walk away from where we just came from, the Palace Gardens and the Cathedral, you can walk in some of the countryside, and you eventually make it, after you walk around the outside of the castle, you eventually make it to a bridge called Prebends Bridge, and it offers a famous view of Durham. They call it the postcard view, and you can see the towers of the cathedral rising above the trees, as well as the River Wear with another bridge in the distance in the shot. And although the bridge is wide enough for vehicles, it is mainly just used for pedestrians now, so it's very peaceful and quiet. You don't have any cars going up and down. It does offer some really stunning views, so it's well worth coming by. I think this time of day as well, in the evening, when the light's going down, the sun's going down, just adds something to the scenery. And actually, artists have loved this bridge for a long time as well. It's inspired painters such as J.M.W. Turner, helping make Durham one of England's most iconic landscapes. So I'm just going on a scenic walk now. Once you cross the bridge, you can actually walk around, pretty much around Durham, and there's a scenic trail. You can see like there's just all woodland, lots of greenery, very peaceful. You get little breaks in the trees as well, where you've got viewpoints like this, looking across the river. That's the bridge that we were just on. And then you can also see there's people there on boats and paddle boards just kind of going through. Yeah, it's really nice scenery around here. As you're walking down that footpath, you do have a little turning off where you go into this graveyard with a really nice little quaint church, and the church is St Oswald's Church. So you can actually come out of there, go onto the main road, and then we can walk back round, so it's like a full circle what we've just done. Yeah, it's worth popping up there if you want to check out again somewhere different. Another really peaceful place, and it's meant to be intended as a wildlife garden, so it's preserved for nature, I guess, like things like birds and squirrels and things. So now guys, we've pretty much just gone full circle around Durham, all the main parts to see, and I'm currently just on Evlet Bridge, which brings me around again, like I say, full circle. It's one of England's oldest surviving medieval bridges. Currently as well, there are many restaurants and cafes you can go to here. One of them is called the Boat Club, and then beyond the bridge it leads onto a bit of a road, which is still part of Evlet Bridge. Again, on there as well you can find lots of places to eat and drink, so I think this is the street where a lot of people go out in the evenings and chill. Apparently a chapel used to stand halfway across the bridge as well, but again it offers incredible views looking across the river, and it's actually the perfect place to end the day. So I hope you've enjoyed spending this afternoon with me in Durham. Again, I'm on a short day trip here from Newcastle, really wanted to check it out, and it's worth it. You can easily see everything in half a day. If you want more of a chilled, relaxed, slower paced time here, then obviously come here for a full day, and you can go inside the castle and you can see more of like the library and the cathedral as well. And of course, there's plenty of cafes and things to go for as well. So yeah, you're spoiled for choice. But as always, I hope you enjoyed following along on this journey, and if you did, don't forget to recommend to any friends. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.